Hey guys, welcome back to New to Homesteading. My name is Ray.
Hi guys, my name is Dora, and we thank y'all for joining us. I know we are in a different environment now. Like we said, we want to do, change up the channel.
Yes, we are changing it up. We're not changing the content per se. We are changing some things that we do say and what we don't say. Well, I take that back. We're still going to say what we say.
I was gonna say what?
It's going to happen. I just can't help it. But we didn't get to do a video yesterday because some things happened, so we had to change our schedule. But we are here today to do another one. And as you see the title, the question is are you prepared? Can any of us actually be prepared for what's coming, for a job loss? I can tell you from experience when I've been laid off that was it a shock at the moment? Yeah, it was a shock at the moment. But what did I do? I went straight out and went looking for another job. It didn't bother me what it was. It really didn't. I just went and found something else and got back to work again. I've never been, what do you call it? Like Eddie on Christmas vacation.
Waiting for that
Management position.
No.
Although there are some people out there that are going to wait because they don't want to, say for instance, they've been in a career per se for the longest time, and to them they've been at this level, and to them it's embarrassing to go down to this level. The question is, are you wanting to eat, or is that pride that high? Some people may say, well, what can I do to prepare before this happens?
Right.
There's a lot you can do to prepare for this. There is no job or career out there that is safe.
That's right. Yeah, because at any time, at any point in time, you could get laid off, which is what's happening to a lot of people right now. Transferred, because of whatever situation in your job. You can also
The company may go out of business.
just downright shut down.
It just
and
goes under.
Close off. Yeah.
It goes under, and then there's nothing you can do about that. And then some people may say, well, I have my retirement. Well, is that even safe?
Right.
Is that even guaranteed?
That's questionable.
That's even questionable. So what can you do? Well, as you see right behind us, we have a mule. To my left, we have a tractor. There's things that I'm also learning, that me and Dora are learning, things to do, extra trades, because I even thought construction was safe, and actually, I don't know if I just posted, okay, but it's not. There's actually a company out there that is working on doing a robot to do the construction.
Yeah, which that's
A humanoid, they call it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they call it a humanoid that will be able to do construction work. I can tell you the first thing that's going to be going, and that is anything to do with computers, anything to do with data,
Yes.
because that's easy. You can get AI to do all the data for you. You need to go out there and learn trades that are going to be more difficult to do for any machine to do. Mechanic work. Can a machine actually get underneath a engine bay and actually get to work and start diagnosing what's wrong and replacing parts? Here, let me go ahead and run some things down that. Here's and in fact, you can look this up yourself. And this is where I'm getting the information. See if I can move this to where you can see it. Okay. That's you can Google that, and you can get all the information from there of all the companies that are doing massive layoffs, and it's called Layoff Tracker 2025. Recent layoffs. Meta will lay off roughly 600 employees within its artificial intelligence unit. Just think about that. People are so how do I say this? That they're so excited to help build AI, and they don't realize that as soon as they build AI, they're going to be jobless.
Yes.
Because AI is going to, and this right here, this is proven fact right here. 600 employees within its artificial intelligence unit. In other words, they helped build it, and now they're going to get laid off. Now they don't have a job anymore.
Right. Well, because their job is done. They built AI, and AI is taking off. You know,
Yep.
don't need them anymore. So, yeah.
Here's Philips is laying off 200. Software SAS is laying off 400. Australia AGL is laying off 300. General Motors is laying off thousands of workers. It doesn't say exact amount. Amazon, 14,000. Paramount, 2,000. General Motors, 1,700. That's the automobile industry, of course. UPS is laying off 48,000. Just think about that. In a time of, well, this is the holidays, right?
Yes.
It's supposed to be the most busiest time. And they're laying off 48,000. And this is positions in the first 9 months of 2025, okay. And they're going to lay off another 14,000. So, I already said Amazon's laying off 14,000. Target is laying off 1,000.
I was about to say, is Target in there? Because I heard about Target.
Well, Target said it's eliminating 1,800 corporate positions. There you go. They have to go from the very top. Why? Because it's easy for AI to do that position.
Yes.
And this is the crazy part. I'll come back to this here in a second. This is the crazy part. Is you have cashiers out there at the grocery stores, at your auto parts stores, your hardware stores, that they're okay. In fact, where was it? Flying J. We'll go to Flying J usually when we're going out of town, and we stop there because that's one of the nicer stores that we like to stop because of the bathrooms. I don't care about the bathroom, my door does.
Y'all know, us women, we have to have a clean bathroom.
Yeah. But we stop there, and what does a cashier say? Oh, you can use these self-checkouts. Trying to direct people to the self-checkout. Understand, cashier, that your job is at risk. And I've mentioned that to them, and they're like, oh no, AI will never take my job. What do you think the self-checkout is for?
Yeah.
We see it. So let's come back. Swiss Industrial is laying off 1,500. Applied Materials is laying off 1,444. Meta is laying off 600. Nestle is laying off 16,000. Just think about that. Heineken is laying off 400. And this list is massive. I mean, it would take me
A good minute to go through it.
I would say it would take me approximately an hour just to go through this. Starbucks 900, PwC 1,500, Spirit Airlines 1,000 plus. It says, in fact, Spirit Airlines is saying it's struggling with the second bankruptcy in a year. Like I said, Ford is laying off 1,000. BHP is laying off 750. Coca-Cola is laying off 680. Sky Group 600. Again, Novik Nordisk is laying off 9,000, which is a pharmaceutical, and of course we can say a lot about that right now. But ANZ, which is a banking industry, is laying off 3,500. B&Q 650. ConocoPhillips is 3,000. Lloyd's Bank is laying off 3,000. Salesforce is laying off 4,000. Paramount 3,000. Kroger 1,000. Again, this list, and you can go on here, and it's a very long list. In fact, I'm not even a quarter of the way, and I just mentioned just a few.
Well, and earlier while we were going through some of the information there, they also had said, I can't remember what state it was, but Six Flags is closing. After 50 years of being and running Six Flags Harbor, and the harbor, like, you know, there's Six Flags and then there's Hurricane Harbor together with it, they're closing their doors, their gates. And there, I think it was like 70 of the major investments, corporate guys are being laid off.
So what are we doing to prepare for this? I know some people say, well, you're in law enforcement, and that's a job that's safe because that's it's always going to be needed. Well, what if there's not enough revenue to come in a city from taxes? What's going to happen? They have to do a massive layoff on law enforcement and on firefighters and so on. And people think, oh, that won't happen. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. They can put a freeze on hiring for the city. I mean, it can go on and on. So what are we doing to prepare? What can you do to prepare? What we've been doing, we mentioned it. We bought some land. And we plan on trying to work that land as quick as we can for some unforeseen things that were happening throughout these past few weeks. We haven't been up there. But we plan on getting back there and starting working on it again. We're trying to prepare ourselves to be able to grow our own food,
Yes.
to raise some livestock, lots of chickens, because eggs are going to be gold.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
You-
chicken itself.
chicken
is
itself is gonna be gold. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to raise as much livestock as we possibly can. And you may say, well, I don't have the funds. We didn't either, but we had to sell some things.
Oh yeah.
If you've been listening to us for quite some time, I have muscle cars. Well, I have my last muscle car that's up there on the lift. I sold one of them. I had to sell it. I had to do what I had to do in order to see in the future, or not see in the future, but know what's happening up front and say, we have to prepare it. We have to get ready. You have to start learning a new trade. What is something that someone else will need? I tell you what, in the near future, people are always going to need mechanics to work on vehicles because stuff's going to break down, whether it's working on vehicles, working on machinery, working on generators, working on things that people are going to rely on to continue to sustain themselves. You got mules here. You're going to have to learn how to do stuff like that. One of the things that people don't realize that it's very important to really learn as a trade is baking from scratch.
Yeah.
I guarantee you back then in the Great Depression, women and men, but mostly women, had to immediately learn to make stuff from scratch because it was not in a box.
Well, and make stuff out of stuff that you have, that you only have in hand. You know, be creative at, you know, knowing what a certain ingredients does, you know, the what's in that ingredients and what does it do if I put it in something else. Because you might not have, you know, something to make something else, you know, bake or whatever, but you could substitute that with
Yeah, you might not have sugar to make something taste better. So what does somebody do? Well, get honey and whatever else, other things that they do. I'm telling you, you're going to have to learn. Why? Because you're going to have to make stuff to last longer.
Yes.
You're going to have to make some meals that will go a little bit further. Look what's happening right now with that SNAP. You see people that are actually on the food banks. They're actually going to these places to get food because the worst thing anyone can do, this is like the dumbest, and I know I'm going to hurt some feelings, but the dumbest thing anyone can do is rely on the government. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And this is where a lot of people have made their mistakes, is relying on the government with the SNAP benefits. And you may say, well, I needed them. You may say, well, you don't understand those people. Hey, we used to be there.
Yes.
We used to be there when we first got married. And what did I say? I don't want to be there. I want to get out of this. I have to do something better. I have to make more money. I have to do something to get out of that because I can't rely on that. This is what people have to do right now.
Yes.
This is where the church itself has failed. This is where, I'm talking about like the prosperity gospel, they're the biggest failures. Why? Because they're a multi-billion-dollar industry that there should not be a single person that goes to that church building, and I'm saying it quotation marks because that's not a church building, but that goes inside that building where they're teaching that prosperity gospel that if you continue to give more money, you're going to get rich. That's not God.
Yeah.
There's nowhere in Scripture to teach that. That you give something to God and God's going to give you something back, but you have to give something to God. That's not. That's a false teaching. It literally, it's like you're saying God's a genie, and God is not like that.
That's right.
But those people, say for instance, Kenneth Copeland is a billionaire. There should not be a single person in his church that is in SNAP benefits, a widow that is needing money, that is making barely ends meet, or a person there that is losing their home because of foreclosure. Kids going hungry inside that church. It should not be happening. I remember Jesse Duplantis gave a testimony, and I should have kept that magazine, where he gave a testimony of this lady and her child that were left homeless, went to his church to ask for help. You know what he did? This is Jesse Duplantis. And he gives that testimony so proudly on his magazine. He went and put her in a hotel for that night until the next day, and then put her in a shelter. He felt big time. This was when he should have said, you know what, I have a chandelier in my house, in my mansion that costs more than people's homes. That's when he should have said, you know what, I'm going to go purchase a house for her, and her child and her should not be going hungry.
Yeah.
And he didn't do that. In fact, he gave that testimony that he put her in a shelter as being proudful. That's awful. Now, let's go back to this. Are you prepared in case your job is next? This is something that we all have to do. We have to try to get out of debt. I was having a conversation with some co-workers today, and it's just about fancy vehicles. They have to have their fancy vehicles. We own old vehicles. Our newest vehicle is probably my daughter's vehicle. Yeah, it's my daughter's vehicle. It's the newest vehicle. Daughter drives a 1992 Blazer. Yeah.
That's right.
We have a 2007 Dodge that's got 135,000 miles. In fact, that's our newest vehicle, right? Because we have a 2004 Ford that's got 268,000 miles. So go figure. Yeah, 268,000 miles. We try to be debt free as much as possible.
Yes.
That's going to be your number one thing, is try to get out of debt. The Bible clearly states, owe man nothing. You're going to have to get out of debt. You're going to have to learn a new trade.
Yes.
You're going to have to find ways to make a little bit extra money. And you're going to have to be prepared in case that time comes that AI or the business that you work for goes down and you lose your job. And then you're in line with another 50,000 people with 50,000 applications.
Wanting that job.
Yeah.
Needing that job.
You're making an application with 50,000 other employees at the same time for that one job. So in other words, you're competing with 50,000 other people. Think about that. I know there's people out there teaching and saying, okay, in the job that you currently have, be the best that you can possibly be to outdo the next person so you're able to keep that job. Sure, that's absolutely a good teaching. But understand, you can do the best that you possibly can, and that business still goes under. And you didn't have a backup plan. You didn't say, you know what, I need to go ahead and learn a different trade. I need to learn multiple trades. I need to learn how to do my own plumbing. I need to learn how to do my own electrical. I need to learn how to do my own AC stuff. Because, hey, it might come to that you're not going to be able to afford to hire someone else to do that stuff.
Yeah.
I had that conversation again today with one of my coworkers because he doesn't know how to change his oil. In fact, he doesn't even know, and he's in his 30s, and he doesn't even know how to check his oil.
How to check it?
Yeah. Isn't that something? You have a grown man in their 30s and they don't know how to check their oil.
That's just not real to me. I said, that's just not real to me.
I was a teenager and I had learned that. I was a teenager and I was working on cars at that time. But there are grown men out there that don't even know how to do that. This is the time that grown men are going to have to learn different trades in order to succeed.
Yes.
You can go back to the 1920s when the Great Depression was during that time. And you can go back and you can do studies that men that didn't know how to do certain things had to learn quickly. I'm not saying to be fearful, but I'm saying we need to be wise.
Yes.
We need to wake up and we need to say, okay, what is a list? In fact, you can sit back and you can just start making a list of things where it will be difficult for AI to take that position. As I said before, mechanic work. It's hard for AI to do it. Can it do it in a assembly line? Absolutely. But that's different. I'm talking about actually going underneath a tractor, going underneath a vehicle, and actually putting themselves inside a uncomfortable position in order to change something.
Yeah.
Hey, there's positions that Dora has seen me underneath the vehicle. They're like, how do you get there? Well, it's difficult for me, but I still do it.
And it's like, you're able to get down there and get that stuff? He goes, yeah, I mean, I have to.
But it's difficult to get out of it.
Yeah.
So there's things that you're going to have to learn and see what can AI not take away, and that's something I have to learn. Another thing is, what can I do? What trade can I learn to do repairs in my own place, in my house, wherever you're at, to where I don't have to pay somebody to go do it for me, and I can save some money by doing it myself. There's things where you talk about homesteaders. Homesteaders say, hey, you have to be a trade of all.
Oh yeah,
And you do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because you have to. A lot of times you're out in remote areas to begin with, and to go into town or whatever, it's time consuming. So you have to know how to do things out there and get stuff done.
I remember we're in a remote location, and this was when I was a kid. And my dad had to actually change a tire. In other words, take a tire off of a rim and put that tire on another rim. So what do you have us do? Again, we're out there in the remote. He took the tire off, let the air out. He had young teenage boys stand on that tire while he ran over it with the truck until it was able to pop out, and we did it manually, and we're able to put the other tire on there. Was it work? Absolutely. Especially when you're a kid and you didn't know what was going on, but you're being taught. You have to do that out there remotely. Again, there's things that we're going to have to do, but you have to be willing to.
Yeah.
There's no time right now to say, you know what, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to do the best I can in my job, and hopefully it doesn't happen that this business goes under, and I'm hoping for the best. You can't. You have to prepare. You have to be wise and start learning something different, a different trade that you can say, yeah, okay, I can do extra money like this if this happens. Or I can start doing extra money right now so I can pay off some debt.
Yeah.
So I know this is one of those that people are talking about today. There's a lot of videos out there discussing things that are happening, people losing their jobs. In fact, this is the hard part also, is there's many people out there losing their jobs, and if you've been on the news, you've been listening to stuff like this, where the husband has actually killed the entire family and himself because he lost his job. That happened here recently.
Very sad. Very sad.
There's another one where a guy was wanting to commit suicide in the highway here recently. In fact, it was today. Again, because of a job. If a job defines you, then you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, why is that job defining you? It should be Jesus Christ that defines you. You should look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I a true follower of Jesus Christ? Because if you are a follower of Jesus Christ, then Christ defines you. You are a child of God, not your job.
That's right.
Your job should not be up there. It should be something that just brings income to you, something that you enjoy as well.
A tool. It's a tool.
Yes.
To be able to do your everyday things that you need to do.
And you may say, well, you don't know what it feels like. Oh, trust me, I do. I've lost many jobs. In fact, I got fired from a job before. Yeah. I got fired of a job for not showing up. That was many years ago. But it wasn't my fault. It was difficult to get to that job. And you may say, what do you mean it wasn't your fault? You're not taking responsibility? Well, we lived an hour away from that job.
Yes.
And our car broke down, and I thought somebody was going to come pick me up, and they never picked me up.
Rated in half, right.
I didn't get a ride, and I got fired.
You
Yeah.
got fired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, there's stories.
There's a lot of stories we can tell you.
A lot of stories. I've forgotten about that
Yep.
one.
Yep. Got cars repossessed also before. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been.
And I'll just say, those are just cars. But people define themselves on things that they have, on stuff. And that's what it is. It's just stuff.
Yes.
And Dora can tell you, I've had some nice muscle cars. It's easy for me to sell them. It doesn't bother me one bit.
Yeah.
I'll look at it and I'll say bye to it, and I'll take a picture of it, and okay, it'll be on my portfolio. I had it, but I sold it, and I had to sell it. So, guys, I know this is one of those hard ones, but we just want to bring this to you. Prepare yourself. Get ready. Don't be fearful. But if you are prepared, it'll be an easier ride than being unprepared.
Oh yes, and very, very much, to where you're at peace, that, okay, you're doing something, and that's the key. It's always be doing something, always be proactive at something.
Productive about it as well, not just doing something just to do something and think that you're actually moving forward when you're not moving forward and you're just busy.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's people that are just busy, but they're not
got
moving
nothing
forward.
done.
Yeah. Got nothing done. We've been there before too.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching him. Give us a thumbs up. Share this video.
Yes.
Subscribe to us. Follow us. And we will see you on the next one.